Hey, what's up, party people? Oh,
Hello.
it is Sean and not Chris, but we got Nick instead. But that's
Hello.
okay. Chris is stuck in some traffic, so that's awesome. Anyways, we're here, and we're not queer, but we're here, and nothing that there's anything wrong with that.
Well, there
But
was that one time in Mexico.
you're not supposed to tell them that.
Oh, that was you?
Wait, remember that one
Oh,
time when we got those two strippers that we thought were women?
it was each other.
No, they were men.
Oh,
You ever see that? You ever see Slackers? The movie Slackers?
yeah,
It's
once.
with Devon Sawa and who's the
Doesn't the
other?
one guy make the voodoo doll out of the girl's hair?
Yeah. Jason Schwartzman was in it, and then gosh, what's the other freaking guy's name? He's super huge right now. Um, he's been forgetting Sarah Marshall. Love you, I love you, man.
Oh, Jason Segal.
Jason Segal, thank you, man. My brain is like I'm getting older. My brain is like getting fried or something.
Oh,
Yeah, he's in it too. And the other guy, he was in a Nickelodeon show, the redheaded kid,
yeah.
and he's like, "You remember that one time when we thought those two prostitutes were women?" I'm like, "This is funny." That guy was hilarious. Yeah, buddy, how you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Good. You went camping, huh?
Yeah, we took the pop-up on its first trip. Um, Lucas and I drove down with the camper. It was like a 45-minute drive. Kind of pushed it to its limit to see what it would do, and it held
Nice.
up on the road.
It
We
wasn't
get
flipping
there.
around in the back. Like,
Nope.
prrrm, prrrm, prrrm.
It was doing exactly what it was supposed to do. It was perfectly weighted. It'd fall back to center no matter what I tried to do.
Nice.
I I tried to make it purposely skid out, and it never did.
That's great.
But
That's
that being said,
okay.
we get there,
There's an
and
asterisk.
it's a hand crank,
Yeah.
and giggle if you want. Shaft crank goes in there. You spin the crank.
Dirty.
So you do that,
That's
and
that.
exactly it connects in there, and that's what raises the thing up.
Sure.
Well, I bought a special drill to make it so that it takes
Yeah.
65 cranks. Okay, so I bought a special drill to make it go. Yeah, special drill to go. Zzz.
Sure.
Well, the campsite I went to didn't have the power outlet that I needed, so therefore I couldn't run power to my drill. Well, the guy I bought it from is a family friend, and he happened to be out there camping too because there's this huge family reunion thing going on. So, anyways, he comes over and he's like, "Oh, I got an impact wrench. Let's give it a try." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Bam! Snap the thing right off.
Holy.
It's a 25-year-old camper. It already had a crack. It was
Oh,
gonna
no.
go. Just happened to go on our first outing. Literally, first 5 minutes we're at the campsite. So
Okay.
my father-in-law, sort of father-in-law, is over there, and he's just like, "Okay, well, let's try this out. Take the old actual manual crank that I have because it has like a shaft like this long on it. He takes it, pounds it way the hell back in there, and connects with the actual nut that holds that shaft on, and we're able to turn it because that will still connect to the gears inside. So we
What?
pop it up and we drill a hole through what's remaining on that shaft because it cracked like all jagged and like 2 inches one side, 1 inch on another side. So we drill a hole through and put a bolt in there so that I can connect even easier. It's working.
Oh man.
I'm like, I have one trip to get through this weekend because we're going to just outside of Bloomington, Leroy. Everybody around here calls it Leroy.
Leroy. Yeah.
Leroy.
I
But yeah,
drive by there.
exactly. Yeah, it's off of 55 or wherever, somewhere around
57, 55, something like that.
there. 57, 50, yeah. But yeah, so I'm like, make it through this trip. The part comes in next Wednesday. Whatever.
That's good that you could get a part for it.
Oh, I've joined these Facebook groups, and there's this one group that's all it's specifically my type of camper, Coleman Fleetwood campers.
Oh, cool.
So like they have like there's a Coleman pop-up parts store that is online, and they have the manuals where even if they don't have the parts, they direct you on how to get that part.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
That comes in handy. That's like,
considering I'm gonna have to rip apart the entire roof, yeah.
damn.
It's more of a I want to learn how to do it. It needs to be done, but I don't think I'm going to go extensive as I'm going to
Man.
go. But I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to rip it all off. I'm going to make it custom. So
That's what like hinders me. I'm like, getting into something like that, like either getting a pop up or getting like one of those Sprinter vans and converting it into a van life type thing, or where you got to worry about like solar panels going out or something. You got to figure out the inverter and all that shit. I don't know how
Well,
to do any of that.
and I
And so
don't
like
either.
I don't have the money to pay for it. That shit gets expensive.
The fun thing about campers, especially if you get pop up campers before like I want to say 2010, even most modern ones, there's a video out there and they're super simple actually to do this stuff. And the only thing that's going to cost you a lot of money is if you have to redo your canvas. If you have to redo your canvas, you're looking at $2,000 easily.
Might as well invest it in something new.
Exactly. And that's just it. Like we bought this camper fairly cheap. We could have taken out camping the day we got it, but had to get parts for the car to hook it up and everything like that.
Yeah.
And so I cleaned it all out and I did everything that we needed to do and I had it ready to go. So literally now is all we have to do is pack our clothes for the weekend and we're gone. And
Nice.
so it's nice having it that way, but we got this camper because it needs a little work, it needs a little TLC. It's 25 years old.
Right.
I can find every single part that I need for it, and there's a YouTube video on how to fix every single square inch on this thing.
That's the cool thing. That's what we were just kind of talking about,
Yeah.
like how we take advantage of stuff like that. Just like
Oh yeah.
you can look up just about anything and you can figure out how to fix it as long
Mhm.
as you just do some research.
Yeah.
I mean, you may not know how to do it. You could watch it and be like, I still don't know how to do it. But then, like, sometimes you're like, oh, that's easy or something. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
It's just like,
And
geez, man.
the thing that my father-in-law were kind of talking about too is I can get in there, I can rip this whole thing apart, and everything that I'm doing in there is basically a small scale house. So like everything I'm learning there, I can go ahead and I can transfer it over and learn how to do more stuff around the house.
Yeah.
So
You don't have
yeah.
to crank up your roof every day, but that's good. I was watching. I watch some like RV stuff every once in a while that shows up on YouTube. You watch like one, and then like the algorithm gives you like 30.
Yes.
And but like there's one with a pop up campers, and they have a really cool one that I've seen recently, where it was all motorized. They have them now. They're all motorized, and this one that I was watching, this guy's like, these have these stainless steel, struts, and the all four sides of stainless steel, and the one that this one guy was showing, it had a bump out too.
Mhm.
It bumped out even more, and I was like, that's the way to go right there.
There's one that we really liked, and we're like, oh, let's check it out. Let's check it out. Because we were thinking about 5 years ago buying a brand new one. And we went and looked at $18,000. We're like, we need to buy a new vehicle to pull this. So therefore, we're not going to spend $18,000 on this.
Freaking car payment to just
It
go
is.
and use it like 3 months out of the year. Man,
I mean,
you could
go
use
out-
it more than that, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, one of the things that Melissa and I like to do is we walk around and we look at we find the biggest one, like biggest RV camper, whatever, in the campsite, and we're like, Google. Holy crap! They paid $125,000
Yeah,
for that thing.
man, those big ones. I almost wouldn't mind. What say? Hey, do you mind if we take a look at like your shit?
And most of them will. That's what.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've. I mean, you've done a little bit of camping, but
Mm-hmm.
camping community just is like, oh hey, you know what? We're all friends. Let's all have a good time.
Hope you don't rob me later. Yeah,
We've never had a problem with that. We've always
that's
had
good.
neighbors that have always been super nice. I mean, as long as you're not stupid and like leave your like $300 grill outside, they're not going to mess with it.
Right.
I mean,
Well,
most people they come to a campsite, they're going to look for tools and nice grills and stuff like that to take and go pawn.
yeah. That was what that guy was saying. The one thing he's like, they were talking about different security features and stuff. He's like, but then again, it is a pop-up camper. They want to get in. They just have to cut the side canvas and they're in.
Were you watching It's Poppin'?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a guy that's got darker complexion, dark beard and hair, and he does a
This
lot
guy
of
doesn't have a
stuff.
beard.
Oh, okay. He
No
just
beard.
did one about that I just watched. It's one of the guys I follow because he's a DIY kind of guy too. So it's kind of cool to see what he does and kind of piggyback off of him.
The one that I saw though, this other guy had was awesome. It wasn't even, I don't even think it had any canvas. It was like one of the new ones where like they kind of, one went like this and the other one went like this, and then like they connected here. So like, is that what it's called?
I think it's called the Cricket. I think it's
Yeah, I don't know. It was awesome looking though, because it just got I was like, whoa, that's badass.
Yep.
You don't have to worry about that shit.
Then there's the A-frames too, where
I've seen those too. Where like
like a
one
pop-up
side's
with
at an angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then like the other one kind of sticks out sometimes. There's some that like they pop out even more.
Yeah.
That's pretty badass too. Yeah, I've seen those.
Those suck in high winds if you're camping.
I could imagine it's like a big windbreak.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw a badass VW truck. It was a van, and it's been around for a while because I've seen the video before, but I just happened to come across it again. And it looks like a normal like VW van, like the little, I don't know what the newest ones are called, like Euro vans, whatever. And you push a button, and the inside is like the whole length of the inside cargo space slides out. So it's twice the length of the van now, and
Oh, wow.
it's all contained, and then that makes up a whole nother room. These arms, like these actuators, come down, put the feet down, and they self adjust to level it completely. And then just like the old school VW vans, the pop up at an angle on the roof, it was awesome.
There's a guy on the way to take Grayson to daycare. He's got an old, it's got to be a mid 1980s Toyota camper van.
Nice.
Looks like complete crap, but I'm just like, oh, I so want to go knock on his door and be like, how much would you get rid of that for? Because I would
Oh
love
man, that'd be such a project.
uh,
It'd be awesome though if you had like a little extra cash sitting around where you can make it really cool.
yeah, my problem is I don't have the space to do it right now. I'm like, I have no idea where I'm going to redo this camper quite yet. My
Yeah.
work said they might let me use the warehouse area during the wintertime because we don't move too much.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, as
Well,
long as you're in cool with them, I couldn't see why they wouldn't let you.
yeah, my boss is the type of guy that'd be out there right next to me helping me work on it anyway, just
Yeah,
because he.
that could be a good thing. Yeah, that could be nice.
Yep.
So you went camping? That's cool. And you're going again this weekend. That's awesome, and you're
Yep,
getting good use out of it.
going with other in-laws this weekend.
Oh, nice. I I don't know if you remember. It's weird. I went over to my buddy James's house the other day on Sunday. He's talking about he's been talking about like the entire summer. I worked with him at Denzo. Talking about almost the entire summer building a deck and then a pool.
Mm-hmm.
And just in the last couple of weeks, he finished the deck and everything, and he's even making like a tiki bar type thing indoors. And he's like, "Come on out, man!" He calls it Magnolia because he had to build it around this magnolia tree, so it's called like JJ's Magnolia or whatever. And so I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'll come out," because a couple weeks ago he had a party and I couldn't make it, and then so he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna." Chris and I we both worked with him, and he was supposed to go out there, but Chris, his job, man, his job was killing him. And so he's like, "No, I just got home. I'm tired." It was like 9:30. I'm like, "Dang it, man! Yeah, figure something out. You're killing yourself doing that thing, construction work all the time." Anyways, so I finally went to it. I'm like, "Oh, it's awesome." I thought the pool was gonna be finished too. I get there now. There's just this huge open rectangle. There's nothing in it. I'm like, "I thought you got the pool done." He's like, "No, that's probably gonna be like I don't even know when I'm gonna start that." He's like, "I might start it in the fall, but I don't know. It'll be ready for next year." He said he's not gonna. It's an above ground, but it's not gonna be your traditional above ground pool with the liner and everything. He's gonna make. He's like, "I've looked online how to do it." He said he's gonna make it out of cinder blocks, and he's just gonna build it up and just fill it in like all the. So it's gonna be solid cement, and then like whatever. He's like he couldn't remember what the name of the stuff was, but it's stuff you put on the inside to keep it waterproof, so the cement doesn't soak in the water.
Great seal.
That probably, yeah. He had like a name for it. I didn't know what it was. I didn't recognize it, but so I'm like, that's cool. That'd be really cool. Then like it would be very custom because it's just gonna be like a rectangle. I mean, it's just like a perfect rectangle. They got a space for. And I said, dude, you gotta like put like a waterfall or something, or make like a little like where a waterfall goes in, you can go under it and you can sit in there and stuff like that. Like a little
a
grotto. Yeah, grotto. And he's like, "What's a grotto?" He never even heard of grotto. I'm like, "Dude, you never heard of Playboy's grotto?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, "Dude," I'm like, "This is overkill." And I showed him some pictures. He's like, "Oh, dang." He's like, "But people do it all the time where it's like a lot smaller. It's just a little tiny little room. It just got a little bar seat, where you can sit down, but you're behind the water." He's like, "Dude, I think I'm gonna have to build that." And then I was looking at him like, "Yeah, you got to put that grotto in there." He's like, "Yeah, I think I might." So I gotta keep bugging him about it because I think it'd be cool. He doesn't do anything. What?
You just want to go swim under the grotto.
Like, yeah, man. What happens in the grotto stays in the grotto. I mean, no, it's got to be your bowl. So yeah, that was good. That was fun. But I giving him shit about that. Our pool, like here, is like, I bought these lights. Bought these LED lights to put up. Like there's like little like tiny lights with a suction cup around, so we can swim during the night. I originally bought these things, and they're like these huge ass
Yeah.
things. I don't know where the remote is, but they light up, and it was like they were kind of expensive. There's I think it was like 30 or 40 for 4, and they're big. They're waterproof though, and I was just like, yeah, that should be plenty enough to light up. No, it's not. It lights up fair amount, but you couldn't go swimming underwater. You couldn't see underwater still.
Oh, wow.
Even if you submerge them underwater, it just didn't light up enough of the water. There's so much water in there.
Huh.
So I went online and started looking. I found a 20-pack of this certain light. I was like, sweet. They clearly weren't going to be as big as those, but so I'm gonna get them because they look like a decent size. They look maybe like maybe a silver dollar circumference.
Mm-hmm.
I get those bitches in. They're like a quarter. They're small, and I'm like, son of a bitch. But I'm like, I'm gonna make them work. Like they said, they had like a little hook on them on the outside. There's no hook, so I have to like fashion. I bought like a bunch of suction cups. I'm gonna like hot glue them like onto the suction cup with 20 of them, and then we have these other lights. So I think we probably light up pretty good. I might like make these lights, like the bigger lights, just be in the water underneath, like on the floor, and then the other one suction cup just like around like the circumference of it. I think that might be cool.
You gotta throw some foam in there and start playing like house music.
Yeah, I do. I've been wanting to pick up one of those Bluetooth like waterproof like JBL things. I'm just trying to find a cheap one.
Yeah,
because they ain't cheap.
If you, I'm trying to remember where I saw a bunch of those at, like the model from like 2 or 3 years ago. They had a bunch of them for like $30.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. I think the cheapest I've seen was like a model like a year ago, and it's called like the Flip 4 or whatever. And Michaela has the same exact one. I wish she'd just sell me that one, but I think she uses it a lot. And it's small, but it's pretty robust for how small it is. I don't want something blasting. I just want something that's louder than my phone.
Yeah.
And I think they were like on Amazon for like $80. I'm like, that's still a little high. They were like the brand new versions are like not like 90 to 100, so you get a little bit of a discount. But I'm still looking. Maybe I'll find something different that will be still water resistant. I'm not looking for it to be in the water with me. Those things can actually, you can put them in the water, and they're like water resistant up to like 30 feet.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's kind of cool. But I'm like, I don't have to have it like that. But it'd be cool to have something at least by the pool that you don't have to worry about getting wet. I can put my phone by there, but I don't want like. I think that on my old phone, because it is water resistant, the old phone's speakers are goofy because I got it wet once. I didn't take it underneath into a pool or anything. But I think it was like in a shower or something. It got kind of wet, and the speakers stopped working. Like they're loud. They're not that loud. You can still hear shit, but it's super quiet. So I don't want that to happen to this phone.
I was working at two different pizzerias actually. It's the same owner, but it's two different locations. And I was the guy that would come in and I made all the pizzas and stuff like that and got them all prepped for him and everything like that. My phone with an honor box on, 3 weeks in, my speaker stopped working. My screen is scratched to hell because that fine flour gets everywhere.
Really?
Oh God, it went in between the.
Oh wow!
Like it destroyed that phone.
That's interesting. You wouldn't think that flour would just be something that would do that, but
yeah,
cool.
the flour, the the moisture of a kitchen. I mean, it's always wet. You can't get that place dry.
Yeah, that's true. So like when we were at, okay, back to when I was at my friend James's house. We were just bullshitting, catching up because we haven't seen each other for a while. He actually just recently quit Denso too, and it was kind of funny the way he did it because he said he's a little bit older than me, only by like a year or two, and he's like, man, I'm just like in like burnout. I'm just working at this place, and he was a manager for a while. he got asked to step back because of some bullshit, like I don't know, some weird corporate thing that like I don't know. He didn't want to play by the rules, and so instead of just letting him go, they're like, well, you just got to step back to like a normal associate instead of a manager. So that already rubbed him the wrong way. That's when I first started when he was a manager. We got so it's cool because I'm like, dude, I'm getting like buddy with a manager. That's cool. That's good to have on your side, you know.
Mhm.
And then then he was just like constantly just like, I'm counting down the days, man. It's gonna happen one of these days. And then like a couple weeks ago, he went in and he was waiting for parts or something for 2 hours. So he wasn't doing anything for 2 hours. And they want you to do other kind of bullshit like clean up and stuff like that, or go help out with other people. But everybody was having problems not getting stuff, I guess. And he just goes up to the lead. He's like, Anthony, he's like, I'm done. He's like, I'm leaving. And like he said, the look on Anthony's face was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? Because like he's one of the top guys that works there. You know, he's one of the like top performing like associates. So you can tell
Those always get abused.
he's like I felt really kind of bad about it, but not really. He's like he's like I just need to get out of there. And then he's like he had already planned on. I guess his mom just recently died, so like him and his sister kind of got like a kind of a hookup from like her and her will and everything. So he's like, honestly, I don't have to work for the rest of the year if I don't want to. And so I
Jeez.
was like, well, that helps out, I guess. You know. But I was talking to him about how I had bought. I think I might have mentioned something to you online. I bought like a Big Lebowski rug. Did I ever tell you
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was telling him, I'm like, man, I think I gypped on this. I showed him a picture. I said, it's not, I knew it was a small one. It was only gonna be like 16 by 24. It was just something I was gonna hang on a wall. And shit you not, the next day, motherfucker came in.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But dude, it's a floor mat. It's like a bathroom floor mat that's like a squish. It's not a rug. It's not like a oriental type rug like it looked like on the screen.
Oh,
It's like
what do they
this weird
call it?
like memory foam, like real thin memory foam that's just like printed on there. Well,
A compression rug.
sure, if that's what it's called. I'm like, you Chinese bastards, you're gonna sell me this cheap shit. I think it was like 20 or $30. But
We
I'm like, either way, I'm gonna hang it up. I'm gonna hang it
yeah,
up like
have fun with it. There you go.
and the dude's gonna be
Looks
with
cool
me.
on the wall.
Yeah, it'll be cool on the wall. I've been like letting it like kind of straighten out because they just kind of they folded it up in like 8 ways and shoved it in this like little like gray weird plastic packaging. So I'm like, I gotta straighten it out a little bit.
We
Funny though, it's weird. It just came with that.
we got a new area rug a while ago, but we were looking all over online for one, and I came across the actual remake of the rug that tied the room together.
Really?
Yeah, for like $180 or something like that. I was like, so I put
That's
that on
cool.
the list, and I ran it by Melissa, and she's like, it's got too much red in it. I'm like, son of a bitch.
That's the problem. It's such a typical Oriental rug that like normal like modern design it looks weird unless you're gonna do some like old school like you're a freaking millionaire and you have like like the antique like clock and antique like seating areas and shit like that. It looks out of place.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this is too. You imagine if I bought that thing in like a 15 by 25 foot rug. It's like that would look so tacky. You got the freaking Big Lebowski's face on the floor. That's why I was like, that's why when I saw it came in that size, I'm like, all right, that's better. It's good for like a poster size. That's it. I can imagine somebody like paid like, and of course the price goes up every time you get to the next size. So it was a couple $100 for that thing. I'm like, no, not gonna give me. And I bet you anything. I kind of am curious what the bigger sizes are. If they were actually more like a rug, or if they're just a
Probably.
bigger version of this. I don't know. It's kind of funny. So I got the gray and white rug like you guys got too.
Oh, okay.
I have to take a picture. It's pretty dang close. Yours guys looks kind of like it was purposely kind of worn out in areas.
Right, right.
See, I don't think this one. I think I remember seeing one like that. Did you get it on Amazon?
We got this one at IKEA actually.
Okay. I've seen it on Amazon when I was looking for them, and I saw one that was like really cool. It looked kind of more like it was supposed to be worn out in certain spots, and then I found this one. It was like I think it's a 6. What is it? Maybe 6 by 10. It's not that big. I think it's a little bit smaller than what yours is,
Hmm.
but it was like $20. I was like, "Yeah, I'm sold." So I was like, I can't beat that price.
No, no, no. You can always do the what is it? I can't remember which country it is that's known for doing this, but they buy, like you said, like 4x6s or 5x7s or 6x8s and all that kind of stuff. They buy these different size rugs, and all they do is they just kind of piecemeal it together around the room until they get
Yeah.
a good size. And I mean, it can look really cool if you do it.
Yeah, man. Like, you ever like go to like a Dave Matthews concert or something, or
There
like
you go.
they seriously they just kind of layered like rugs all over the place. It looks awesome, and I'm like, could I do this in a house and it look the same, or what? I'd have to have like gear sitting around or something. You have to just like an entire like if a band comes through, they can set up and play. Then it works. Then it pulls the room together. Like the gear. That's like how you sell it to your wife. The gear really pulls the room together, dear. It's not the rug anymore. The rug is complementary to the gear. She's like, you are full of shit.
I
Shut
haven't
in your
watched
face.
Lebowski in years. I need to watch that one
I do
again.
too. And I'm gonna watch it on my new projector.
Oh, you
I
got
I, I picked up a projector on Amazon, pretty dang cheap, and it's sweet, sweet bejesus, man. I've been wanting to get a projector for a while. And if I had told you like a while ago, I had found a projector on Facebook. Some girl was selling it, a brand new. Have you ever heard of the brand Marantz?
no.
Marantz is like kind of a high end audio company. They make like high end. They make some low end stereo components, but mostly high end stuff where like it's individual, like preamp, amp, all that shit.
Gotcha.
She was selling this brand new Marantz projector. This was a couple years ago, and she only wanted $60 for it. And I was like, sold. I'm like, I don't know what this is. I looked up the number and everything. I saw the box. It was sealed and everything. It was in Nashville. This was like a professional grade projector for rich people. It came out back before 1080p came out, so it was only 720.
So
The retail value was 10 grand.
what?
Yes. And I was like, holy shit balls. It was huge. I mean, it was like seriously a foot and a half by like almost another foot and a half. It was about 6 inches to 10 inches deep. It was a beast, a Burton, right? It was awesome. If I can find a picture of it, I'll send it to you. I know I've got it on my feed somewhere. And the thing was awesome, man. I had to set it up on these boxes and so it was heavy. It got hot as hell because it had the traditional bulb with an LED on it. Or yeah, LED. And the only problem was it was 720 native. It accepted 1080, but it's still 720 all day. I mean, you can play it maybe looks a little bit better than 720, but not really. It's going to be 720. And then I could not hook up my Apple TV to it. It would not read it. Like every time I plugged in, I tried a bunch of different kinds. I thought maybe it's the HDMI cord. Tried a bunch of different like ways to get this son of a bitch to get hooked up. Couldn't do it. Every time it would show on the screen, it would be like this weird, like the snowy. You could see the menu a little bit, but it was snowy, and you couldn't do anything. Like it was just static. And I'm like, this is worthless to me. This was before I got like, um, I don't think I had my Roku TV yet, and I was just like, this is worthless to me because I could plug in my old school Blu-ray and we could watch movies that way, but I only had old movies. I wanted to watch like Netflix and shit on there.
Right.
And I did have Netflix on my Blu-ray player, but it was an old, weird, like proprietary Netflix where like you can only watch stuff that you add to your list. That's all you had to scroll through your list. That's all you could do on the Blu-ray player. And I'm like, I'm not going to spend money to get a new Blu-ray player.
No.
So I ended up selling it to this guy at work, and I told him the whole thing. He's like, "Dang, that's awesome, man! You get such a great deal." I said, "But I'm looking to sell it because it's just not working out for me." He's like, "I'll buy it off you." So I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "I'll give it to you. I'll sell it to you for what I paid for." And he's like, "No, no, no. I'll give you some more." So like, I brought it, gave him all the shit. He gave me like $120, and I was like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "There's a lot of 20s here. Are you sure?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah." Well, what he was going to try to do is flip the damn thing for like maybe $1,000 or so.
Mhm.
He's still holding on to that thing. I asked him like just before I left, like leaving working at Denza. I said, "Hey man, you ever?" Because he at first I thought he was just keep it for himself,
Mhm.
and every once in a while I'd be like, "Hey man, you ever bust out a projector?" And he's like, "No, I haven't got a chance to do it yet." But like he wasn't wanting to say, "Hey, I'm gonna flip this from you," you know.
Yeah.
And then I got wise to him. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna ask him about it anymore. And then one time I said, "Hey man, you ever flip that projector?" Like we had already talked about it before or something. And he's like, "No, man, I can't find anybody that will buy it." You know, I'm just like, "Hey, that sucks for you, but whatever, it's out of my hand." So I never had a screen for it either. I just projected it against my wall, and it looked cool. Um, I watched like Jurassic Park on there and everything. So I got this new one, and like you can pay like $60 for like a shitty one, like a mini one that will like display at like 720 maybe. The proof of the pudding is spend a little bit more and get the 1080p native. 4K, you're gonna pay a through the nose for still.
Yeah.
A couple grands for like even a low model one. I had a coupon actually. It was awesome. It was normally it was like 260 or something. And I had it through Amazon. There's a coupon that says like one of those instant coupons, $60 off. I was like, sweet.
Okay.
So I'm like, $200. I'm like, that's a little more than I wanted to pay, but I'm like, I'm getting the 1080p native, and so I don't have to worry about that 720 bullshit. Because I
Mhm.
mean, 720 you can tell as you're getting a bigger screen. 720 is good for like a monitor or something, or like something
Yeah.
small. But once you start blowing up, then you're gonna start pixelating out and stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. I found a real cheap pull down screen. I got a little wall mount and everything. I'll have to take some pictures and show you later. And it's just kind of funny, but I have to have the damn thing almost hanging right over my where I sleep. So like I sleep at an angle now. The way my room is set up, like my bed and then the projector's up here on like a little like arm like this. And then right at the end of my bed, I had to push my love seat all the way back because the projector, because the walls I'm in are like angled, like you can see this
Mhm.
angled. So I had to bring that out a little bit more. So I mean, it's blown out. If you're sitting in bed, it's perfect. But if you're sitting in the couch, you're kind of like a little bit like front seat of the movie theaters a little bit. Now, what pissed me off is the screen. I'm not going to rant about this much longer, but the screen was misleading as hell when I bought it, and they said it was a 120-inch screen. I'm like, sweet, that's what I want. Cause from back here to the actual screen, I could be about 120 inches, which is awesome.
Mhm.
I get the damn thing, and it's a 4:3 ratio instead of 16:9. So it's 120 inches or a square, not rectangle. It's only 80 inches by 16:9. I'm so pissed off about that. I'm just like, it's a bitch. It would be a bitch to send back. So I'm just like,
Oh, I'm sure.
we're just gonna deal with it for now. And I mean, it's still 80 inches. I mean, my TV is 55, so it's a blast. It's a
Mhm.
blow up from that. And now the only thing and then I had that, like I said, that Apple TV that runs through it. I was originally gonna run my laptop through it, but my laptop wasn't like it was not compatible with it or something because it didn't want to. It would show it would show the desktop, but you could move your like mouse around and it wouldn't do anything. I'm just like,
Huh.
son of a bitch. And I was like, and then I'm like, what am I gonna do? I just put this money in towards this. What am I gonna do? And I'm like, oh shit, I got that Apple TV that I haven't been using because I have Roku on the TV.
Mhm.
So it's just been sitting in a box. I'm like, I'm gonna try that. I'm like, if this thing acts even like that dang Marantz and doesn't go through, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna throw this fucking Apple TV through the window. Set it up, hook it up, bang, bing, bang, boom. Works perfect. I was like, now I'm just like, if I can find a used like 4K Apple TV, that'd be sweet because that just has a lot more options. You can like customize the channel a lot better. Just when you're kind of stuck with whatever they have on there.
Yeah, we just do the Fire Stick. That's all I use anymore, and
Yeah,
download so much stuff off of
I
that.
thought about doing that too. I've never used it though.
It's super nice. I mean, I bought one for my mom, so she has it at her room at the home that she's at, and she sits there. That's been her saving grace because they've been on lockdown since middle of March. So
Oh,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
I was like happy that I was able to get that set up. I've always been an Apple fan. Never
Oh yeah, you have.
And when I was like kind of hesitant when I got the TV, because I mean, it was one of those cheap TCL TVs, but it had Roku in it. I'm like, I've heard mixed things about Roku. I'll give it a shot. I don't mind Roku. Roku's pretty nice.
It serves its purpose.
Yeah,
My
it's
mom, that's why.
basically they're all the same.
That's why I first bought my mom was a Roku, and then we were kind of like, I was like, I didn't like how it interfaced for her. She needed something simpler than that, so that's when I got her the Fire Stick.
Yeah, and you might not be able to do all the same things you can with the Roku that you can do with the Fire Stick, like downloading and stuff like that. But I'm like, if I can find an Apple TV 4K, my buddy Tim, he said if Apple ever comes out with another like advancement on their Apple TV, he's like, I'm gonna have no use for it. I'll just give it to you. But I think Apple's getting out of that game,
Oh,
and
really?
they're kind of because they can stream to other devices now. Like you can get Apple TV on Roku on Fire Stick, so it's
Yeah.
like they're like, why should we bother making the hardware when you have the software everywhere?
Yeah.
I think that's what they're thinking is, but I don't know.
I've thought about doing Apple TV a couple times because it looks like there's some good stuff that's popping up on there.
Yeah, I mean, do you have an Apple phone like you had all in the house that you got
Yeah,
it
I
recently?
use an Apple phone.
Did you just recently get it?
It's an 8S, I think.
Okay. I mean, if you happen to upgrade, you'll get like you'll get Apple TV free for a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Otherwise, it's like $10 a month.
Though I do buy mine used. I buy them off of my mother-in-law. Actually,
Yeah.
she upgrades about like every 2 years. So I'm like, okay.
Nice. Well, yeah, I just paid off my 8S, my 8 Plus, and so that's cool. I'm just gonna try to use that for recording now. I mean, it records in 4K. I'm like, I even did like different like
What is that?
yeah, check it. Yours should too.
Hmm.
I think they just started doing that with the 8 on up. You have to go to the computer settings because it's not just going to do it because it takes up a lot of space.
Okay.
But I was comparing it to like my phone that did 4K. I was like recording the same thing and kind of looking at the same. Like they're pretty damn close. I mean, the new phone obviously is going to be a little bit better,
Yeah.
but I'm like this one's going to be fine. So I'm like, we're going to give that a shot for recording because like the GoPro. I don't know. I think I need to upgrade to it. I think the one that we got was because it's such a bare budget, like such a budget camera. It's
Mhm.
not. It's not. It works good outside, but like I'd rather have like a 4K GoPro or something.
I've thought about picking up a GoPro. I might just have to pull the trigger on that one. I think it'd be fun for like when we do go camping and stuff like that.
Don't get a silver one or the white. I think the base one is whatever is white. I think it's like white, silver, and black. Look at like even a couple year old one, like because I think they're on 8 now. I've heard like 4 and 5 is pretty. Fives are really supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
There's one of those where they're not waterproof though, so you still have to get the little waterproof case for them.
Yeah.
The new ones, they're waterproof, and I mean, for what I've used it for, it's not been that bad. But I want to like for as far as like putting stuff on YouTube, I want it to be a little bit better, higher quality.
Plus, they'll give me an excuse to buy the GoPro Hot Wheels. I don't know if you've seen that.
No,
It's a little Hot Wheels where you can clip your GoPro on top of it.
no shit.
Yep.
That's awesome. Is it radio controlled?
No, it's just like a normal Hot Wheels, just like your normal $1 Hot Wheel that you
It just happens to click on
yeah,
the.
you click a GoPro onto it just for fun.
That's hilarious. I thought there was gonna be like something you could drive that shit around or something. That'd be awesome. What was it? There was a guy online. He put a GoPro onto a fish. He caught this orange fish, and he strapped a GoPro to it to see like what it would go see. I didn't watch it. I saw the thing, and there's like this weird orange fish that was like it's real thin, but it was like he strapped this bitch on there. I'd like to see what like if you like what if that fish just leaves and you can't get it again, you know? Like how are you supposed to track that damn thing down?
Yeah.
Or it falls off somewhere and then you're like, oh,
It's
there
in the
goes the
bottom of
footage
a
for that.
rapids somewhere.
So I don't know what he did. I should look up that video and see what the whole thing was.
That's funny.
Dude,
that's
you
funny.
probably had these shoes when you were a kid because I mean I think every kid our age had them. They were either Nike or Adidas, and
I only ever owned 2 pairs of Nikes growing up.
all right, but those are like old
I
school.
never had those. The
No?
old running shoes? No.
How about those?
Nope.
I had these hand me down for my brother, the Adidas,
I'd love to have those.
and I loved them. I don't know why. I was like 10 though. I was young, dude. I just got a pair of shoes from New Balance. I just got them today. They came out on Saturday, and I just got them in the mail. Same
Wow.
colorway, man. Look at that! Isn't that awesome? That big ass N on there,
That is cool.
dude. You know what? They're goofy as hell, and they're blue. But look at that footprint. That's cool. They're like a pretty decent like suede. This canvas is kind of cool, and it's just kind of cool. It's got like the rubber like sole goes all the way into the back. It's kind of weird.
Nice.
They've got a bunch of different colors that they've come out, and then they just got like a little New Balance on the inside.
That's cool.
Pretty comfortable. Just got them today. Here's a weird thing though about it. Okay, I got them from New Balance. I actually bought them from NewBalance.com. When they first came out, they were supposed to be on. I don't know. I don't think you have. Do you have a Hibbets Sports up there? Might just be a.
Oh,
Southern
wait a
thing.
minute. Yeah, I think we do actually. I think there's one in Peoria now.
Okay. Yeah. They've been around for a little while. I never heard of them before I came down here. They had like an online thing where like you could like get them online, and then you could go either have them just sent to your house, or you could go pick them up at a local store that was carrying them.
Mm-hmm.
I get on there at 9:00, and right when they drop, because I'm like, these are gonna sell because all the other ones have sold out. All the other colorways that they've had of these shoes, they're cheap. I mean, for shoes nowadays, I mean, most shoes nowadays are like $100, $200. These are only $90, so they sell fast, and they're New Balance. Now, $90 is still a lot for shoes, but I mean, I think of it more of an investment because if the more shoes you have, the longer they're gonna last. So they're gonna because you're not gonna wear them out by wearing. You just mix it up a little bit. So I think of it more of that way, where like it's gonna last me forever. Anyways, I went through the whole thing, sent it into my my box, and I went to go pay for it, and it sent me to "Are you a robot?"
Okay.
I was like, no. And you click yes, I'm human. I don't know if you ever had to go through any of that where it shows like a number of pictures. It says click on all the lights.
Yes.
So you click on all that, and then it finally does it. It did that to me twice, and then it gave me a thing saying, "We think that you're a robot, so your purchase is invalid." I said, "What the hell?" Just because I jumped on there super quick. What?
I get that with Ticketmaster.
Really?
Yeah, I can go on
Man.
any one of our any format. Our PC, Melissa's phone, my phone, Lucas's phone. Always happens, and I can be on different internet services too, and it still does it.
I was so pissed. I was like, "What?
Hell yeah! It sucks.
Like, how is it that like then people that do have actual bots they get through?
Yeah.
They end up getting the shoes. That's because like I'm glad Nike they don't have that thing. You get screwed on shoes through Nike sneaker app all the time. But this I was like, I've never experienced this. I'm just like, well, screw you. So I went to NewBalance.com, and they showed like what sizes they had left. They said my size. I'm like, sweet. So I went through it and bought them no problem. And I was just like, Hibbets, I'll never buy shit from you again. That's bullshit. So I bought them last Saturday. 2 days ago, I was on finishline.com. I was like, I'm like, we're getting Maddie's like, school stuff ready. She needs some new shoes. And so I'm like, let's look at some shoes. I always like her to try maybe, I don't mind paying a little bit extra for her shoes as long as they're like a half size up. So she'll wear them longer. She'll take care of them if they're nicer. So she's not just going to run around in like dirt and mud and stuff. Because I got her a pair of Air Jordan 4s like a little while back last year. They're pink. They're cute as hell. She still wears them. They were half size ahead of what she normally wears. And she still wears them. She likes them because she don't want to hurt my feelings, but I think they're like, not her thing. Like she likes the way they look, but she said they're a little heavy. She's more used to like running shoes and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, well, let's look. Maybe there's another style of Jordan shoes that are lighter. We can find that maybe you like, or just anything. So I like to help her look. Well, we were on finishline.com, their app, and we came upon I just you can Google it and you can narrow it down to just girls and certain sizes. They had a pair of these Adidas Boost shoes. And I'm like, Adidas Boost, I don't know if you've heard about those are like some of the most comfortable shoes you can buy. They're the ones that they're like the little styrofoam beads that are all compressed into the heel.
Ooh,
So
that
there's
sounds comfy.
dude, if you're investing into a new pair of shoes, they can be expensive if you don't get them on sale. But go on like Adidas.com, they usually run a lot of like sales of like last year's models, which who cares? You don't get them. You can get them like half off sometimes.
Yeah.
But I bought a couple that were like they're 120 bucks, and I got them for 60 bucks. I bought 2 pair last year because I was like, dude, I don't know if I'm gonna run across this deal again. So
Yeah.
and I've never seen the Boost in a smaller like kid sizes. I was just like they just don't make them in that size. Well, we found a pair in her size. They're 90 bucks. I was like, shit. They were on sale for 30.
Hey, can't beat that.
I was like, guess what, babe? You're getting a new pair of shoes today. So I get them into the cart. I go to pay for it. I notice as I'm like going through every step, it says $20 off a coupon that I had from. I'd bought a couple other shoes from Finish Line. It says apply here by clicking here. Boom, applied another $20 off after taxes and everything. It's $18. $90 shoes for 18 bucks, man. And they're freaking. They look awesome. Like they're. Yeah, I got a picture of them too. They're freaking awesome. Like I couldn't believe what a great deal got on the damn shoes. So what's?
Oh, go ahead.
No, that's fine.
I was gonna say I'm hooked on Merrill shoes. I don't know if you've.
I've heard of them. I've heard a lot of good. Oh shit! What happened here? I've heard a lot of good things about them.
I've got my water hiking shoes, my tennis shoes I wear every single day. I've had sandals. I've got 2 or 3 pairs that are like my older pairs. Those are like my camping shoes or my outdoor shoes.
Yeah,
Love them.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind picking up some that for like an outdoor elite type thing. So yeah, this is what they look like, man. They're just like,
cool.
yeah. And like I'm telling you, look on Adidas, and if I ever see something, I'm like, if you're just like looking for a new pair of shoes, and if I see like a good deal, I'll send you a link or something because they're like they're so
something.
Such a great deal. I mean, everybody's looking for like good deals on shit. So I ordered like let's say so I ordered these shoes. I'm talking a lot about just bullshit, but we can get to some other stuff in a bit. Oh no, you said you gotta get off soon, don't you?
Yeah, we got a few.
Damn. I guess we won't be able to cover some stuff I was wanting to, but we can do it maybe later.
Okay.
Anyways, real quick on this, I didn't realize I was talking for so long.
No.
So I ordered my shoes on Saturday. I ordered her shoes 2 days ago. I got like emails at separate times from each company saying track your package. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, I tracked. Originally, it was supposed to say hers was supposed to come out on the 14th, and I got an email saying, or when I went back into the tracking, it says, oh, they're eligible for the 13th now, which is today.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna just go ahead. This is the Finish Lines page. Out for delivery. In the small print down by my finger, it says August 13th, 8:46, out for delivery today to Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Okay, just kind of look at that just picture in general. I went to go track my New Balance, and they're out for delivery August 13th. August 13th with the number 8:46 a.m. out for delivery today. The exact same thing, except it's in red.
Oh, that's weird.
Dude, that was like a glitch in the Matrix or something, dude. Because I'm looking at that thing, I'm like, that's the same fucking time. They were ordered at 2 completely different times, 2 completely different stores, and they showed up on the same fucking time on my porch. Isn't that mind-boggling?
Gotta love the postal service,
dude. That is, it was UPS, but still, I'm like, that's fucking bananas.
Great. You had to turn me on to Adidas.com. Thanks so much, Sean.
Dude, it's a little bit of a wormhole. You'll go down. They've got some awesome shoes that even if you look under like sales or clearance out.
That's what I go for first.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too. I've got a couple pairs from Adidas that are on sale, and I love them.
Website that I always use, especially for Merrills, and you're like me, if it's a couple years old, who really cares? As long as they look cool and they're comfortable.
Yeah.
Uh, Sierra.com. That's where a lot of like outdoor shoes and outdoor equipment and stuff like
I'm gonna
that.
write it down.
They go really cheap. Like I've never paid more than $60 for a pair of shoes off of here, and they're normally like $100+ shoes.
How do you spell that? S E
S
R. Okay.
SIERRA.
IE. Yeah. Sierra. Okay. Yeah. I forgot Sierra's got that weird IE.
It's awesome.
It's called. That's a Sierra.com or Sierra Shoes.
Just Sierra.com.
I'll have to look that out. I've been wanting because it looks like they're gonna have another one of those stimulus checks come through at some point.
Who knows anymore?
I know, and but if they do, I'm gonna put like most of it aside when I'm getting my drone. Like I'm gonna put a chunk of it aside in my my savings, but I'm finally pulling the trigger and get my drone so I can finally get some so I can start doing some traveling for the website or for the YouTube channel and start going to different waterfalls and like nature parks and stuff and start get some awesome drone footage.
If you ever want to come up my way, I've got an extra tent and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I kind of really do. Once it starts getting a little cooler, I think I'm gonna definitely do it.
Okay.
So hopefully I'll have it by then. We'll be able to fuck around with it too. Should be fun.
Lucas, 2 years ago for Christmas, maybe 3 years ago, Grandpa bought him it was a nice sized drone. It was like this big, and you know, it was supposed to be a beginner's drone and everything like that. And Lucas, being Lucas, goes outside and he's like, I'm gonna try to fly this thing. I go, did you read the directions first? He's like, no. I go, have you ever flown one before? He goes, no. I'm like, you're gonna run it into a tree. Like, I'm not gonna run into a tree. I was like, okay. He takes it off. Damn! Doesn't hit the tree. Instead, he hits the handicap parking sign. Hasn't picked it up since. Just put it back in the box and left it alone. I'm like,
did it break?
no. He was just like, I couldn't figure it out, so I'm gonna get rid of it.
Oh man, if you spend a little bit of money on them, they pretty much fly themselves. Like you're kind of like you gotta be like I think you have to do a lot more work to get them to fly well if they're like cheaper ones for some reason. I don't know why. Because like the one that I'm looking at, you can plug your phone up to the remote to it, and so you can see everything. There's all kinds of shit you can push on there to like track you, and like you can have it do like a sweep away where you hit the button and it kind of goes in like a circle, but it will like kind of go. It'll focus on where you are.
Oh, cool.
And it'll do like a weird like corkscrew type thing up into the air.
Oh, cool.
All kinds of weird shit. They have like a burst mode where it's just gonna go like real fast. I mean, you gotta remember that takes up a lot of battery juice, and usually they don't last for very long. The ones that are from the company that I'm getting it from, this is like their smaller. This is like it's their entry level drone, but it's been a super popular one because it's compact, it's small, and it comes with like if you upgrade like for like $100, it comes with like 2 extra batteries. It comes with a nice charger, a nice carrying case. It's got extra props. It's got all kinds of extra shit that comes with. And I'm like, that seems like a good deal just on the batteries alone, because the batteries can be like $50-$60 a piece.
Yeah.
And I think they claim that this does 30 minutes per battery. So I'm like, 30 minutes is pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah.
When you get to like that same company on a bigger drone, the batteries are like sizes like a Subway sandwich, and they only last for like 15 minutes. And so like you have to spend, and those are actually expensive. They're like $80 or $90 a piece. I've looked into it, but the drone is actually like $1,000 too. So I mean, it all scales up way too much. They can do a lot cooler things. They're more stable in air, and they have like sensors that like keep them from running into shit. And I can't imagine spending that much. I can barely. I haven't. That's why I haven't pulled the trigger on the one I'm getting. I can't. I'm like finding it hard to like spend the money on that.
Yeah.
Considering the crisis that we're in, that's why I'm like, well, if Grandpa Trump wants to give some more money away, then maybe I'll do it. Then.
Grandpa Trump.
I just told you I got mine. My first one, didn't I?
Just now?
Just like a week ago. My taxes were all screwed up, and so like I ended up doing them like just barely at the last second, and then they finally sent it out because I don't want to get into it, but the ex screwed up our 2018 taxes, so they don't even know who the hell I was until I got into my 2019 taxes. So that's neither here nor there, though.
Eh.
So, opens up crap. Well, hey man, you gotta get going, huh?
Yeah, I gotta get some sleep because I gotta drive and set up tent tomorrow or set up camp tomorrow night. So
That's cool. We'll get to some topics next time.
Yep.
You gotta love the rants, the rant nights. You just kind of like, dang, it sucks when you don't talk to somebody right like on a regular basis. We were like,
it's been a couple of weeks since we've actually had a chance to sit down and talk.
yeah, if we could do this like every week, like I know if that's hard to do because of schedules, but if we could, maybe if like we ever get to the point where we make some actual money off of this, it'll be easier for us to be more inclined. Yeah, we're getting paid money, so we might as well do this every week, or maybe even a couple times a week. We're getting paid that good of money. I would like. I want to figure out a way. Like I don't know. There's got to be some kind of people out there that are looking to sponsor a small, just to kind of help them.
All we can do is just look into it.
Maybe some local businesses.
Yeah, pretty sure my company wouldn't sponsor us.
No, I don't think my. I know Denzel wouldn't have, and I don't even know of anybody else that. Man, I don't know. I don't know anybody. It'd be kind of nice though if I could find somebody. Maybe I'll just put it on Facebook and be like, "Hey, Murfreesboro friends, you know anybody looking to sponsor a little podcast?"
Yeah. So
That way, they're people that like that company can come and see us, and we'll get their. It'll be the reverse of what sponsorship's actually supposed to do. Usually, the website's the one that's generating, like, getting new customers for the sponsor. It's gonna be the other way around for us. Well, it's been, man, I just blasted out this damn microphone. It's been great talking to you, man. Thanks for watching, everybody that is watching up to this point, and like and subscribe if you haven't already. We strive to, let's see, I'd love to try by like the end of the year get to like 100 subscriptions. How can we do that? We got to figure out how to do that. And then maybe we'll do like a giveaway if we can get up to 100. I want to get some merch. 100 subscriptions is like minuscule compared to like a lot of the YouTube channels.
What I'm saying is the 100th person gets something.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be nice. I don't know what we'll have to make up. It'd be cool to make up like mugs or shirts or
yeah, I'm not going to go down that road. There's so many things you can actually
masks.
Yes.
Oh man, I have the big Whale of the Bear mask. The best mask. I have to try to find it again, dude. It was, I know you gotta go. The Darth Vader, dude. It was just the triangle.
Oh really? I've got one of those gator things, and it's Bane.
Nice.
So like
Bane would be awesome.
Like
have you seen Gator Cat yet?
Gator Cat?
It's online. It was a TikTok. I don't know if it was a TikTok or a YouTube thing before.
Bane Cat I've seen.
Bane Cat. That what did I say? Gator Cat?
Gator Cat, yeah.
Bane Cat. Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Bane
Cat. I saw it last night first time. I was laughing my ass off, man.
It's cool.
Oh shit. Anywho, thanks for watching, guys. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Have a good one.
Adios. Stop this thing here.